Hey guys, Anthony from Gamer Tactics here. I've got a guest with me today.
Hey, I'm not Viking, and I know Drew and Anthony, and I run this little channel somewhere else, far, far off in the distance.
We're going to be talking about the polls today, the rare polls that
Yep.
were brought out on the news updates today, April 10th. And it's not a lot of polls option, but since it's such a heated topic because there's people who are for and against it, mainly for, but I personally know a few people who are against it. So let's go ahead and get into that.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right, so first I'm going to talk about which ones are tradable. Those are the Easter eggs from 2002, the pumpkins from 2001, Halloween masks, Santa hats, Christmas crackers, party hats, discs of returning, and half-full jugs of wine. The untradables are the bunny ears, scythes, yo-yos, rubber chickens, zombie head masks, hats, and scarves from Christmas 2005. Marionettes, Easter rings, the skeleton set, the Jack-Lantern set, reindeer hats, wind-tumber trees, warships, and chicken suits. And we've already got the chicken suits, so they dropped the ball on that one. So
yeah. Well, there's two sides of it, to be honest.
let's see. The first question is: would you like rares to return to the game in some form? A list of all rares is at the top of the poll. And again, we'll be putting the link to the polls or the link to the poll option in the description for you guys to find, because Jagex doesn't do a very good job of making it obvious and where to find everything. Like a lot of the times, if you don't know what's going to be updating, you have to go to their Twitter to find out. Look at all these bots. It's terrible. Bot shaming. Bot shaming. Report them all. Oh, God.
In the format Matt Capa, thank you.
So, would you like rare items returned? Yes, I personally want rare items. Where do you stand on this?
I'm voting yes, but I can see why people won't, because I was like torn, because I was like, maybe it's not so good, because like I was always the poor
Yeah.
shit. And I was like, I'll never obtain that, and if I can't have it, nobody can have it.
Well,
But that was the most childish solution ever, so I'm voting yes.
yeah, I was talking to David earlier, and he said the reason he doesn't want rares back into the game is because he wants to avoid that whole competition between people who are like, oh yeah, I have rares. You don't have them. I'm better than you. And just... And at least that's what I gathered from what he says, because he put it in a different way that I'm not going to say it. Because I'm trying to keep videos clean. So
I can see why, to be honest. He's like that.
You see, because if someone has a rare, they're going to be selling it for high amounts, and it's just going to get higher, and it's just going to get higher, depending on the way Jagex distributes them.
That is one thing I was considering too. Like how are they going to distribute them? Like, if they do it wrong, it's fucked.
Yeah. Like, I was aware that it was a prank when they did the drop the Easter eggs and party hats, Varrock and Falador. But yeah, I think that might be a good idea, but not in the big cities. Hide them in places.
Oh, fuck no.
If you're lucky enough to find them, they don't respawn. You find them, that's it. Hide maybe 100 to 200 in random places throughout the world.
I'm against that idea, to be honest.
I think it would be an interesting idea, because then it's like, oh yeah, let's go find these. Maybe search a box or two, find a party hat, and freak out.
But then people didn't work for it.
They're not going to work for it anyway. That's how they plan to introduce them, unless they try to introduce them through treasure trail clues.
That was exactly what I was going.
You see, but that's the thing. If they introduce them through treasure trail clues, anybody can get them. They're not exactly rare anymore.
Throughout a limited time, they should offer that. Like,
okay, maybe throughout the limited time, yes, but then what if not enough goes out and they're like max cash stack a piece?
They could be distributed in several ways, not just one, though.
That's the thing. If they distribute them several ways, that's more ways to get them, and they're still not as rare as they could have been.
There should be a counter on, like, if they know how many party hats are currently existing in the live game, that should give an idea of how many there should be in the game we have now.
But the amount of the party hats and stuff that's in the live game currently is still dropping.
Exactly, so we should maybe lower that amount down.
But that's the thing. If it's gonna be any lower, then the prices on our version of the game will be higher.
It needs to be done in a smart way, because if not, it's just gonna be a failure update. And if it's just like, oh, we'll place them strategically across Draenor, then it's gonna fuck up in some way. There needs to be some sort of equality between the servers, like the live game and the one we have now.
Well,
and there's an equal amount of people playing the servers. Like 50,000 there, 50,000 there. It's pretty equal.
The thing is, this is, we don't want to have everything the way it is on that server. The way I see it is, they should see if they could find out how many party hats, how many pumpkins, how many eggs and stuff like that were in the game back then, if they can.
Yeah.
And maybe distribute that amount, or maybe a little lower, maybe a little higher, because then the prices will level out at a certain area, or go up or go down. Or maybe they could distribute them to the characters whose accounts are old enough to get them.
True, but many rares have been claimed, so to speak, from back then. Like, oh, someone got lured and they didn't get back in time to get it from the portal. Boom. Party had gone, never returning. Some people.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, back in 2007, that never happened yet.
True.
Like, if you put the stuff back in, it would give it a chance to happen again. People getting lured in the wilderness and such. But it gives it that more of a simulation of the fact that we are playing an 07 server. Things are just like, if not, maybe it's slightly different than they were back in 07. So why not simulate the items that we had back in 07 with the rares and such?
They could be distributed through a skilling system, perhaps, like strange rocks, but rarer.
But they'd have to have a spot where they'd stop to make it, to kind of keep the integrity of the fact that it's a rare.
Yeah, but there's no way to distribute this without some people feeling like they got cheated.
Exactly, but that's always going to happen, because that's the point of it being rare. Kill thousands and thousands and thousands of iron dragons and never see a visage. Someone goes there, kills one dragon, gets a visage on their first kill.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be feeling cheated, because it's all about luck, it's all about statistics, and it's all about probability.
If they were really smart about it, they should just discontinue, like, half wine. That update was made, and some people were stuck with half a wine. They didn't know its value before they knew it was impossible to get it anymore. So if they, in theory, could just make up new rares without us knowing, that wouldn't be the original rares, but that would be the way to cheat people into thinking so.
But the thing is, if they do that, say through another like holiday event with more tradable rares, everybody will have them, because everybody can have access to that holiday event.
True.
So it wouldn't exactly be a rare for at least another couple years.
And that's what makes this so hard, because they say introducing rares back into the game. It makes it less rare when people actually know that it is a rare.
Yeah.
Like back then, okay, I'll kill a chicken on Halloween and get a party hat or a Halloween mask or whatever, because they didn't know what the fuck it was. They just wore it. Until a few years later, where they realized, oh, this is tradable, it's worth some money. And
it's worth a good chunk of money.
And then it was too late to actually get it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when they're going to release it, we'll be perfectly aware of how they're doing so. Or I'm not sure if we are.
And that'll affect directly the prices, because everybody, except for maybe, the occasional one or two people who haven't really played RuneScape and started and are like, oh, what's this old school RuneScape thing? Let's check that out too.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact that Ashlyn never played RuneScape before, and then she started playing old school RuneScape with Drew and I, and she liked it more than she would have liked the live game because it wasn't as confusing because the combat and everything is just so simple.
True.
It's hard
Yeah.
in its own way, but at the same time it's simple because, it's kind of like point and click, leave it be for a minute.
Yep. That's kind of yeah. But how they're gonna put him in is what I'm worried about the most. Because if some guy manages to duplicate boom 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 hacks unit, I wouldn't be surprised.
That would be an issue too, but that's why they, Jagex needs to get on that, and they say they're going to do it, but think more about whether or not they're going to add it, and then think about how they're going to make sure it's secure when they add it. Go through all the ways that have been used before to duplicate items.
I don't think they'll ever be completely safe. Like way back in the day, I wasn't even playing back then, but back then, pink. It was pink before it got renamed to purple. Pink pouch hat was the most expensive one. And some guy found a way to duplicate that. He shared it with a few friends, and it was all over. That is, to this day, the most cheap party hat you can get. Just because that, back then, was duplicated so much. Hatch unit, they duplicated chaos runes in such an extensive amount, like billions, until the price dropped to 1 GP.
Wasn't that the
Dungeoneering?
Well, that was Dungeoneering? I thought that one was the Blood runes, Death runes, and
no,
other runes smuggled from Barbarian Assault, and then they changed it to Catalyst runes.
Yeah, like Elemental. Yep. But yeah, one mistake can fuck up the whole update. If there's mistakes...
Exactly, which is why Jagex needs to get their heads out of their asses and pay attention to exactly how well they're writing the code, putting the items in, and make sure that there's no way to duplicate certain items.
Yeah, but
the question is if they're adding... Well, I think they should add Christmas crackers and not individual party hats.
True.
Because then you got the Christmas crackers, you're going to crack them and get, party hats from them. Or people can choose whether or not to pop the crackers and just keep the cracker.
Or there's let me count how many rares are. There's 1, 2, 3, and there's different colors. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let me count. 1, 8, 9, and there's 10 rares altogether. Like party hats.
Mm-hmm.
We'll leave those out. Remember back when you got a cracker and was a sledgehammer in it?
Hmm?
If everyone got a cracker and it was by random one of these items, no matter what color, it would kind of be randomized, and it would still be distinct because everyone got not the same thing.
Did every Christmas cracker give a party hat, or was it random? Because I don't remember that far back.
It could give random.
So it wasn't always a party hat. It could have been a...
Oh, it was always a party hat. You got party hat and chocolate dust or something.
I was about to say, because if you pop a Christmas cracker, get a hammer and an oak log, I'd punch someone.
Yeah, that kind of. But then everyone would still have it, which...
Sounds like they're riding a four-wheeler outside. Sorry if you guys can hear that.
But yeah, this will all... I'm pretty sure this will go through.
Yeah.
Sure.
So let's see.
I'm excited to see how they will implement that.
If you vote for rare items to return, would you like the current tradable rare items to remain tradable? A list of all tradable rare items can be found at the top of the list. And I already went through those, and I see that kind of defeats the point, in my opinion, of even having a rare item. Because if everybody if they give everybody a rare item and they're not tradable, there's no market for it, they're not rare anymore. They're the most common thing in RuneScape next to the dirt on the ground.
Well, 07scape is still kind of new. So if everyone got an item and let's say they were untradeable for a year, boom.
Maybe make them untradeable for now.
Yeah, exactly.
And then wait a year to and make them tradable.
So you filtered out all the players who wasn't really gonna stay, and boom, there.
Instant rare. But the question is, how long do you think the servers are going to last? Because people are kind of taking off the nostalgia glasses after a while, and they're like, this is what I remember, but it's not as amazing as it used to be.
Yeah.
And that's because everybody's, they've played different games, they've done different things, they've been exposed to different elements in the gaming industry, and they're just, it's not the same. I personally love it. I don't see myself giving it up anytime soon, but, that could change depending on how things go.
Yeah.
But so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to vote for that, and I'm going to vote yes, let's leave them tradable. Let's vote and see what the results are.
84-73.
84% to 16% say yes, they want rare items back to the game, and 73% to 27% say yes and no, that they want them to return, but they remain tradable. This is where it gets interesting, because it's like,
you need 75.
Yeah, you need to get to 75% yes in order for it to pass. The question is, it's obvious that everybody wants it, so that 75% is passed, but what are they going to do if nobody decides whether or not it's tradable or not? That means Jagex is going to have to make that decision for the people, unless they hold another poll later to decide. The longer it takes for people to get on the wagon and decide whether or not they want to have this, the longer it takes to get rares back into the game.
Yeah. But yeah, there's not much more to be said. I think like it all comes down to how they want to implement it. That's like the core of everything.
Yeah. It's up to Jagex and the players whether or not they want to add it.
Yep.
So this is us telling you guys to go out there and vote and, do your patriotic duty. No.
Yep.
Just get out there and vote for what you want, what you believe, and we'll see how these go. So it's been a good video. Been about 17 minutes, longer than I expected it to be, and I will see you guys again next time. If you looking to check out some interesting videos, you can check out his channel, RS Guides for Noobs.
Got it almost right.
RS Noob Guides for something. I'll put a link in the description.
It's cool. Yep. Thanks for watching, and yep, I'll let Anthony close it.
Yeah. Catch you guys next time. I'll be possibly making a guide video here soon, and I'm not sure, maybe another update tomorrow. I finally got my Dragon Axe, for those of you who haven't noticed yet. And, well, we'll see you then. Happy voting.
Yep.